How is everybody doing? Ladies and gentlemen, we are here tonight on the show. And tonight we are we're gonna do some wrestling talk. We got some wrestling news, dynamite recap. So the biggest thing right now is that WWE is looking to legalize betting, ladies and gentlemen. WWE is in talks. Let me see here. Let me pull up the article here. WWE is in talks with state gambling regulators in Colorado and Michigan to legalize betting on high-profile matches. They're working with Erskine and Young to secure scripted match results in hopes it will convince regulators there's no chance of results leaking to the public. So yeah, these betting people they're not too convinced. They're like, what about if it gets leaked? And to me, the other thing is, a lot of times it's too predictable, right? We could tell as fans what's gonna happen. So, like for example, Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens, Roman Reigns, Sami Zayn. We knew Roman was gonna retain, right? I don't know if I was a betting superbook, a casino. I don't know if I would want to do this, man, because it is like it's to me it's way too fucking predictable. Like honestly. But anyways, WWE trying to convince these people that they that they're not going to leak out the script, and but still, it's way too predictable. I don't know about this, man. I wouldn't do it, but I think it's way too predictable. People are going to win a shit. It's going to be easy money, I guess, for the fans. But yeah, I don't think it's good for the casino. I think their storylines are way too predictable to do that. Anyways, let's continue to go around the freaking hold on. What are we? Do we have more? Is there more okay, I think we're done with that. Let's go over here. No, what the fuck? Chris Jericho was on Renee Papaki's podcast, and he pretty much, he talked about a few things. He pretty much talked about how him, John Moxley, and Bryan Danielson got to be the leaders of the locker room. Otherwise, they can go to the shithole. He's like, as a matter of fact, your man, John Moxley, and Bryan Danielson and myself, we have to really take charge here in the locker room. Because if we're going to lose the locker room, and if you lose the locker room, you're fucked. I beg your pardon, I'm too classy. So Chris Jericho pretty much saying how Bryan Danielson and John Moxley have to be the leaders of the locker room. Kind of interesting, he didn't mention Kenny Omega, another veteran. Pretty interesting. And then he pretty much says, I guess, is he like producing stuff like backstage? Is he helping out with creative? He says, Tony Khan probably got a lot of right-hand man, but I think I'm probably one of them. Also, too, kind of just helping out the locker room and producing probably half of the backstage promos you see. So he's helping behind the scenes. So he's helping with other wrestlers with their promos. I mean, I can see that the veterans having to help out since they don't have a writing team. I can see that, like, Chris Jericho sitting down with, like, Ricky Starks and, this is what you want to say? Okay. Or sitting down with, I don't know. I'm sure MJF is the only young guy that he probably does his own promos. But I can see Jericho, Mox. Well, I don't know. He didn't say anything about anybody else. He just said that he helps people backstage with their promos. Okay. Let's see here. Let's continue to stroll down. Tony Khan announced last night that the Atlantic champion is going to be renamed the International Champion starting next week. Interesting. It's kind of like the Intercontinental, right? Let me sit down here. It's kind of like the Intercontinental, right? But international, ladies and gentlemen, international. Pretty interesting, man. Let's see here. Let's continue to stroll down if we have any more news. AEW is trying to re-sign Brian Cage. His deal is due. His deal could be frozen up, just like Kenny Omega, due to injuries. It could keep. He's supposed to be a free agent, I think, right now in March, but because he missed a few months with injuries, they could delay the free agency until June. Brian Cage is trying to be a free agent right now, and WWE does have some interest in him. But as of right now, I guess they're going to freeze him up for the next 3 months because of his injuries. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Let's continue to open up the articles up in here, ladies and gentlemen, as the professional that I am. Kane, who's now a mayor, going by his real name, Glenn Jacobs. He's a mayor in Tennessee, I believe. Said, "I'm not ruling out a WWE return." Wow. I'm assuming maybe his mayor term is coming up, and he's putting. I thought he would try to maybe go up the ladder, maybe try to be governor, and then eventually president or something. But I guess he's had enough of it. And he wants to come back to WWE. Pretty interesting, man. Pretty interesting right there, man. WWE indicates that it was a good thing to move the pay-per-views to Saturday nights. It has been a positive. So WWE is happy. And yeah, I like it too. I think outside of WrestleMania, all these pay-per-views on Saturday, right? And WrestleMania is on Saturday too. It's a 2-night event. But yeah, man, I think it's better, man. There's a reason why boxing and UFC is always on Saturday. So everybody can stay up and watch. Nobody can stay up and watch fucking, especially in the East Coast. Starts like at 8 o'clock, it's not over until like 11 o'clock. That was rough for people in the East Coast. Having to stay up until like freaking 11, 12 o'clock to watch wrestling on Sundays. I think it's way better to do it on Saturdays. Already talking about next year's WrestleMania 40 from Philadelphia. Triple H is reportedly planning to stack next year's WrestleMania card. Is he even going to be in charge by next year's WrestleMania, the way things are looking right now? Jesus Christ. Who knows? I don't know if Triple H is still going to be in charge. By then, he might be out of the damn company, honestly. Hell, was he going to be completely in charge by this year's WrestleMania in a few weeks? Jesus Christ. All right, one more article we got to open, and then, or one more website, and then we'll do Dynamite recap. So they're saying that the whole John Cena, Austin Theory thing, there was no nobody wrote no writer or producer helped them with the promos. Basically, it was John Cena and Austin Theory saying whatever they wanted to say, and that's why John Cena ended up burying Austin Theory the way he did, because nobody, obviously for John Cena, there's no problem. He's been doing this for 20 years, 21 years. But for Austin Theory, he's not used to not getting a scripted promo. So that's why he folded like a lawn chair, obviously. I don't know if that was smart by WWE to go out there. Obviously, okay, you don't want to give John Cena a promo, don't give him a promo. But damn, for them to not just to fucking send Austin Theory out there without a written promo. That was tough for the kid. He didn't know whether to shit on his watch. And that's why they said it was so lopsided and how John Cena just completely dominated him because there was no written promo. All right. Like I said, WWE is interested in Brian Cage. If he were to become a free agent from WWE. And then Saraya, who is a Japanese wrestler from NXT, is leaving. She's going back to Japan. She announced on her Twitter. So she will be, I don't know who this is. I thought I was like, Saraya WWE, leaving WWE, I beg your pardon. Isn't Saraya in NXT, formerly known as Paige? But apparently there's some other different Saraya, I guess. She's Japanese. Okay. All right. Are we done? I think we're done with the articles. I think we're ready to recap AEW Dynamite, ladies and gentlemen, here tonight on a Thursday. All right, what the hell's going on? Hold on, let me see this shit. All right. Let's do Dynamite. What the fuck is happening? Dynamite. The date was the 8th, right? March 8th, 2023. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's do this. All right, from frickin' Sacramento. First time ever AEW does a show in Sacramento. So we start off, of course, with the third week in a row with Orange Cassidy defending the Atlantic champion, now set to be the international champion, versus Jay Lethal. Pretty good match, just like the matches he's been having with the last week with Wheeler Yuta and Bill King. Really good matches. Another good one. I don't know if this was a part of the storyline or he just accidentally messed up and fell on his shoulder. But at the end, it looks like Jay Lethal's trying to do a move. He's trying to do a move with on the ropes, and he falls on his shoulder, and that's how Orange Cassidy beats him. He hits him with the Orange Cassidy. He was trying to do his finisher, I think, the Jay Lethal injection. And he falls, and Orange Cassidy hits him with an orange punch and pins him. I don't know if that was supposed to happen or not, but he fell on his shoulder pretty bad. But anyways, Orange Cassidy retained the championship. And next week, after the match, Jeff Jarrett attacks him. And it was announced by Tony Khan that Jeff Jarrett's going to face him next week in Montreal. No, wait, where is it? Excuse me, Winnipeg. So Jeff Jarrett versus Orange Cassidy next week in Winnipeg. Well, they will rename it the International Champion. Let's see here. And then we get a promo from Ricky Starks. And he's pretty much talking about moving on, what's next after beating Chris Jericho. And the Bullet Club things comes on. Everybody thought it was Jay White. I'm like, oh, Jay White is back. Now he's in AEW. But it turned out to be Juice Robinson. Juice Robinson attacks from behind Ricky Starks and just leaves him laying there. Everybody thought it was Jay White. I'm like, damn, all these rumors that he swerved us. He's saying he was going to WWE. He's in AEW. Better know it was just freaking Juice Robinson. Next, we get Ruby Soho talking about why she turned on Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. Good promo. And then she's having a match with Sky Blue. Of course, she beats Sky Blue. After the match, Saraya and Toni Storm come out. They start out beating up Sky Blue. Willow comes out. She tries to help. She tries to get Ruby Soho to like convince her that, hey, you're making bad choices right now. And obviously she ends up getting attacked too by Tony Storm, Saraya, and Ruby Soho. Renee has an interview with Heyman Page, and obviously kind of awkward because obviously Heyman Page beat the shit out of Jon Moxley, and Jon Moxley's Renee Puckett's wife. But then he's like, yeah, we're done. I mean, I think, we had a hell of a war, but I think this is over finally between myself and Adam Page and Jon Moxley. And we get an MJF video from Sunday after the match with Bryan Danielson backstage, celebrating his win, saying, I'm the devil. I got horns growing out of my head. I got a silver tongue. I'm going to celebrate. I'm a singles man here in San Francisco. I'm going to go celebrate. He was not at Dynamite tonight, but they said he will be back next week to do his celebration in Winnipeg. FTR does a promo, pretty much saying how they're happy to be back. 2022 was a great year for them, that they took some time off, and now they're happy to be back. And like I said, they're going to take the tag team titles off the Gun Boys and stuff like that. And then we get Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, and Daniel Garcia versus Top Flight and AR Fox. Good match. The Jericho Appreciation Society wins. And after the match, Chris Jericho says, you know what? We are officially the new #1 contender for the Trio Championships. And he tells, House of Black, do your spooky, freaky little entrance and come out here and accept our challenge. And the lights do go off, but instead of House of Black, it ended up being the Elites. And I think this is supposedly the first time that Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho interacted, because Kenny Omega said, in the 3 years, we've done a good job of staying out of each other's way. But until tonight, man, because we are the guys that lost the Trio Championship this past Sunday to House of Black. So we deserve we deserve another chance. We should be the #1 contenders. And they just pretty much start arguing. And then freaking Don Callis is like, dude, you're a hell of a wrestler, Chris Jericho, but you're only the second best Canadian wrestler, referring to Kenny Omega. And then he tells him how, if I would get a few weeks to train, you would probably be the third best wrestler in Canada. That was funny. Then the House of Black come out and pretty much tells them, you know what? Both of you want a piece. Let's do it next week in Winnipeg. So it looks like it's going to be a triple threat match next week for the Trio Championships. Man, they are stacking the show for next week in Winnipeg. They're going to have the triple threat Trio Championship match, Jericho Appreciation Society, the Elites, the House of Black. They're having the Orange Cassidy versus Jeff Jarrett. They're going to rename the Atlantic Championship the International Champion. MJF is coming back. It looks like it's going to be a loaded show next week in Winnipeg. Let's see here. And then Bryan Danielson does a video pretty much saying that he's going home, kind of like he retired. He said MJF was right. My kids need me at home. He said my first instinct after MJF put me in the label lock was to keep fighting, but then I realized that I couldn't feel my arms, and that's why I decided to tap. It's time for me to go home. My guess is he's gonna take some time off, and then he's gonna be back. So he's been in AEW for like 2 years now, and hasn't taken any time off. But it was interesting that the Bella Twins were on at Revolution this past Sunday. Was it possible his last match? Is he just gonna retire that low key? I don't know. My thing is he's just taking time off, but we'll see. And then we get a freaking tag team match: Jon Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli versus the Dark Order, Alex Reynolds and John Silver. Good match. Obviously, at the end, fucking John Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli win. But after the match, they continued to beat him up. And, they've kind of been teasing if the Blackpool England Comeback Club going to turn heels. I think they officially turned heels here. John Moxley wouldn't let go of the submission hold. Evo Uno came out. They still beat him up. Like, they were just beating up everybody. And then Adam Page comes out. Supposedly, he had told Renee Paquette it was over between him and John Moxley. He comes out, and he starts getting beaten up, too, by Claudio Castagnoli, John Moxley, Willard Yuta. The referee security comes out to separate them. So, this is the feud. I guess everything else seems to be over, right? But this is the feud that might continue here. But now I think what they're going to do is it's not just going to be John Moxley and Adam Page. Now they're probably it's going to be more like Dark Order versus Blackpool England Comeback Club. Which is interesting because there's a lot more members of the Dark Order than there is. There's only 3 members, right? Because it looks like Bryan Danielson is taking some time off. So maybe they're going to add some people to the Blackpool England Club. I don't know. We'll see. But good stuff, I guess. Good brawl. Let's see here. Then the main event comes out. I think they ended up changing this match to a Falls Count Anywhere match because of the situation that happened with Wardlow. He didn't have his wrestling gear. So I think they probably thought it was going to kind of be weird to have a normal match with him just wearing regular clothes. He was wearing like a shirt and jeans. So they actually start the match in the freaking parking lot. They're beating the shit out of each other in the parking lot. I think he power bombs into the freaking windshield of the car. Wardlow to Hobbs. They finally make it back to the arena. Then they go up the ramp. He fucking at one point does a moonsault from the top rope onto a table. Jesus Christ, this Wardlow guy is so athletic for being like 300 pounds. Holy cow. Then they go up to he looks like he's going to do another power bomb on the announce table. But then QT Marshall shows up. At first, he hit him with I think it was a chair, and Wardlow just looks at him like, what the fuck? And then I think Wardlow grabs him. He's going to choke him. He grabs him by the throat. And QT hits him with a low blow in the balls. And then, they start beating him up. And then Hobbs gets back up, and they double choke slam him on the stage, and he goes through the stage, and I thought it was you had to pin him. The referee just counted up to 10, like it was a last man standing match. The whole match they never did that. The whole match I thought you had to pin your opponent, and at the end the referee just counted up to 10. And Hobbs is your new TNT champion. And I guess they probably had another title there because they did give him a title. I'm like, where's the title? Or unless they're going to go with the storyline that QT Marshall was the one that stole everything. But they did have a title for Hobbs when he won. But damn, all this shit, man, and Wardlow loses again. Why didn't they just have Samoa Joe retain? See, I think what's going on here is Tony kind of tries to protect Wardlow from getting pinned or submitted. Man, I don't know, man. At least, like I said, he didn't get pinned or submitted, but still, it's like you just put the title on him 3 days ago. It looks really, and I know he got helped from QT Marshall. But that's still what the hell, man? Only 3 days as champion for Wardlow? What the hell, man? It's Jesus Christ. And if you want to make Hobbs champion, I get it. But couldn't you at least wait it a little bit? 3 days as champion? Jesus Christ. Couldn't you at least wait until Double or Nothing to do this? Build it up? Well, now what? Don't tell me you're going to have the rematch at Double or Nothing, and you're gonna fucking have Warlow win it back. Jesus Christ. Double or Nothing it's not until like May 28th, so I don't know. I doubt they feud until May 28th. That's too far away. But anyways, this was a really good show. Once again, when they don't have a pay-per-view in sight, the shows are better. When they have a pay-per-view coming up, they save all the big matches for the pay-per-view. This is when I like Dynamite. When there's a pay-per-view, like there's no pay-per-view near, because the Dynamite is like a pay-per-view. And I think next week's gonna feel like another pay-per-view show in Winnipeg. This is when I like Dynamite. When they don't have a pay-per-view in sight and they just do all the big matches on Dynamite. So yeah, I thought last week sucked ass because they were trying to save everything for Revolution. But now that there's not another pay-per-view for another 6 weeks, this is what types of shows I like. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, I'm out. Holla!